Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ming and thank you so much for joining me. So today I'm sharing my experience in Bali and Singapore. It was beautiful. So I think towards the end of February, my sister and I decided to explore Bali and Singapore. So we decided to do 3 nights in Bali and 3 nights in Singapore. We actually wanted to add Malaysia to the list as well because Malaysia is actually 45 minutes drive from Singapore. So every time I travel, I always want to get the most out of my trip. For instance, when I went to Paris, I did Belgium, I did Switzerland. So Belgium is 2 hours away from Paris by train, and Switzerland as well is like 2 to 3 hours as well. So I always want to get the most out of my trip. So anyway, coming back to Bali, goodness guys, everyone in Bali was super nice. Bali is very warm, like literally and figuratively. The people are so nice. The people are very, very warm. They are always willing to help you out. Like you literally get random people just greeting you. And of course, Bali is extremely hot. So if you are planning on traveling to Bali, you might want to pack only summer clothes. So apparently it never really gets cold. So only time it gets cold is when it rains, and the rainy season, I think it's between June and September, and that's when obviously it gets a bit cold. Obviously with rain comes a bit of cold. So the culture, the people are so nice guys. The people are warm. Everybody seems to be very genuine, which is unbelievable, but most people in Bali are very, very nice. I had met crazy fun. So how to move around in Bali. So the hotel actually organized us a driver for the first day. We obviously didn't want to, just go out and get a random person that we don't even trust. So the first day, the hotel organized the driver to get us around, more of like a tour guide type of person. So they charged us I think $40. So because Bali is such a tourist place, they use USD, even though their currency is not USDs, but they still use USD. Like, obviously the tourists, they charge us USD. So the first day we paid the hotel $40, but we ended up actually asking the driver, we asked him to give us a discount if we book him directly, which he did, and he gave us I think between $15 to $20 per day, which came close to 300 rands, which was very, very cheap. So like I said, currency, they use USD. So every time I travel, I always prefer to carry a bit of forex. So if I'm going to Paris, obviously Europe, some parts of Europe, I would carry a bit of euros. So in this case, Bali, I cashed I think a bit of USD, and for Singapore, I took a bit of I bought Singapore dollars as well. It makes life easier because you might go to certain places where they don't take card, they only take cash, and you find that the buying price or the selling price when you are overseas is actually very expensive. It's cheaper to actually just go to your bank like an FNB or APSA for an exchange and get your forex there. So yeah, so USD is the currency that they use. Bali is fairly cheaper than Singapore. Singapore is very expensive. With Bali, I find that you can actually negotiate your way out of most places. Singapore, on the other side, everything is expensive. Food is expensive in Singapore. Bali is fairly cheaper. The climate, it gets, like I said, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, it's very, very, very hot, so you might want to pack just, warm clothes, summer clothes, and just a little bit of, honestly, warm items for those cold days. And in terms of security, I feel it's super, super safe. Although obviously when you travel, when you are in a foreign land, you can never really let your guard down. But I remember the one day my sister and I, we went to the Bali beach. We left around to the Seminyak beach. It's a public beach in Bali. We left our hotel around 6 o'clock. It was still fairly sunny. The sun was still out. And we came back at around 9 o'clock, 9:30 to 10. The nightlife is crazy. It gets so hectic at night. You'd swear it's still day, and most stores are still open in the streets. Like most stores that are literally just in the streets are still open even after 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So I don't know, that gives you some sense of, comfort, or a little bit of comfort. So it's not bad, but obviously in a foreign land, you shouldn't let your guard down. There's so many attractions, there's so many things to do and see in Bali. We did 3 nights. Honestly, 3 nights was not enough. I feel if you do plan on visiting Bali, minimum 5 nights, 5 to 7 nights, minimum. I do plan on going back to Bali. Maybe not now, probably in the next 2 years or so, because I feel like I'm still hungry for it. I feel there's still so much that I want to see, there's still so much I want to explore. So for my top 5 or top 10 attractions or places that I recommend for people to visit, I've actually stipulated them on my blog, clarkingadiming.com. So you just go www.clarkingadiming.com. I've actually just stipulated here. I think I've typed it out in the description box as well. Please do check out my blog page. I'm talking about traveling, fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. And leave me a comment as well. And if there's something specific that you want me to talk about, just do comment below. So like I said, three nights in Bali is not enough. Do 5 nights for you to, explore and, get the feel of, most of these tourist places. So I remember we went to a place called the Temple. You've probably seen it on Instagram, where a lot of people always go there and they take beautiful pictures. It's called the Gate to Heaven. Yeah, Gate to Heaven, or Gates of Heaven. Something like that. Something like that. We went there on a Sunday, which was quite a blunder, because apparently most Sundays they have different ceremonies, so it gets jam-packed. So you might want to avoid certain places on a Sunday, rather, do your research. But I know for a fact the Temple, don't go on a Sunday, because you will wait in queues. It gets super packed. And when you go to the Temple, you shouldn't go there in pants. They want you to wear a dress. But if it happens you are wearing pants or shorts, obviously, when you get there, they will give you a scarf or a sarong. It's a sign of respect. So yeah, that's it about Bali. So please check out my blog page. You will see in detail, like I've stipulated everything in detail. Now, let's go to Singapore. Guys, Singapore is 2 hours out of Bali. Singapore feels like a different world. Goodness, first of all, it's super expensive. A cocktail in Singapore, a cocktail that will cost me 45 rands here at home in South Africa. In Singapore, you'll be looking at like what, 25 to 30 Singapore dollars, which comes close to what, 200 and something, or yes, I think. Okay, exchange rate between 10 and 11%, between 10 and 11 Singapore dollars. You do the math. Singapore is expensive. Everything in Singapore is expensive. The food is expensive. Drinks are expensive. So the best way to actually move around in Singapore, don't even get a driver, because apparently they will charge you up to 100 Singapore dollars, which is over 1,100 or 1,200. That's ridiculous, right? So the nice thing about Singapore is there's trains everywhere. Like you literally get to go everywhere by train. So that makes life easier. You can just, get a card for 3. If you're there for 2 days or 3 days, you just get basically a train card for the number of days that you'll be there, and you put money in there. So that's what you use to go into different places. So it's cheaper that way, because Singapore generally is very expensive. I feel 3 nights in Singapore is more than enough. I got to see everything that I want to see in Singapore. Singapore isn't as big as Bali. So Bali, you can't average it within 3 days. But Singapore, within 2 days, you can actually get the most out of it. So I've also done a detailed blog about Singapore trip as well. I've listed my top 5 attractions. Like I said, there isn't so much to see in Singapore, but it is quite a beautiful place as well. It's super hot. It's humid. Humidity level is on par. It's super hot, so you might also want to pack like warm clothes. I mean, why do I keep saying warm clothes? You might also want to pack like, summer clothes as well, and probably just carry like, a jersey or a cardigan for those days that, it might just get cold. But Singapore is beautiful as well. Well, that's my 2 cents about my experience in Bali and Singapore. Do check out my blog page, clankygardineng.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Mwah!